Is a major gold, silver revaluation on the way? Are we forcing it? The United States and the West, are we forcing Russia and China to actually revalue gold? It seems like when we take a step back, when we take a little bit of a break from all the noise and all the news, and we look at the big picture, there's two big things going on that absolutely point toward a revaluation, a separation, easily could result in $4,000 gold, let's say $103 silver. Let's talk about those two big factors right now. $4,000 gold. We're going to talk about the two big factors, but let's talk about an even more important factor, the X factor, factor number 3, and that's you. Thank you for joining me here in Ron's Basement. I couldn't be doing this without you, your support and your help. You guys give me so many great ideas, so much support. Thank you. If you get some value from the video, please subscribe right here. Turn on the ring-a-ling-ding-a-ling bell notification. Now let's get back to these two big factors. Factor number 1, the recently announced oil caps on Russia at $60. That is forcing the world to decide, are you going to go with us or are you going to go with them? And if you go with them, right, the BRICS nations, China, Russia, India, possibly Saudi Arabia, right, you're probably looking at a new currency that will be backed by gold, possibly silver, possibly oil. They have explicitly said real assets. Now, we don't hear a lot about this on the mainstream news here in the United States of America because it's not really good news for the United States of America. But if you take a step back and look at what they're doing, absolutely forcing the world to separate, make a decision. If you're Argentina, if you're Brazil, if you're any host of other countries, are you going to play ball with the Russians and the Chinese, or are you going to play ball with the Americans and the rest of the G7 nations? And they can do that by a couple ways. The West controls the shipments of oil, like 90% of the oil that's shipped, so they can put a serious dent in the oil supplies of the world. But very interestingly, the Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov, he recently said that if a country is playing ball with the $60 price caps, we won't sell them oil, no matter how profitable it is for us. We are looking at this as a long-term situation. It's getting dicey. Now, the second thing we need to talk about that's splintering the world and not getting enough attention is the total embargo Mr. Biden placed on the Chinese when it comes to semiconductor manufacturing. That was like anything that had happened in the previous, taxes or other issues that we had dealt with the Chinese. This was like almost like an economic bomb that we sent over there. Like, you are no longer allowed to use U.S. technology, U.S. talent to produce semiconductors. And that has been kind of swept under the rug, but that's a major, major situation. Oh, if you also consider in light of that, the Taiwan situation, Taiwan produces a lot of the world's semiconductors. It almost feels like we're pushing the Russians and pushing the Chinese further and further away. Now, I don't want to see conflict in the world. You don't either, right? We're not that type of person. But when we look at what's going on from a gold and silver perspective, it is favorable for the price of silver and gold. As they push these countries further and further away, they are working steadfastly on developing their own reserve currency. Again, also, we have the Russians who explicitly stated they're starting their own precious metals exchange called the MWS, the Moscow World Standard. I don't know, guys. I just think when we do take a step back, look at the big things that are going on in the world, the Eastern countries, we aren't doing much to say, hey, let's get together and figure this out. It seems like the actions being taken by the West and possibly the East as well are those of separation. We're looking at this through the prism of precious metals, and again, that looks favorable. Hey, thanks for joining me here in Ron's Basement. You know you're always welcome. I'll see you next time.